This Christmas, the Pokemon modding community comes bearing gifts to all Nuzlockers. Emmy has created multiple powerful Nuzlocking resources in the past that any community would be lucky to call their own. This time, Emmy is celebrating the holidays by giving the Crystal Kaizo community a whole new game to play. It's called the Crystal Kaizo Christmas Patch, and it drops the player into a Johto that's been turned into a winter wonderland. The player's goal is to collect 4 badges, protected not only by meticulously designed trainer battles with some pretty crazy sets, but also some of the most sadistic ice puzzles ever conceived. To show it off, Emmy and I gathered 9 players from across the Crystal Kaizo and Pokemon fangame community, and we presented them with a challenge. Take Emmy's Christmas patch and race it with hardcore Nuzlocke rules for a $500 grand prize. Our trainers had 6 hours to get as far through the game as possible, and whoever made it the furthest would be crowned the champion. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! The first few trainers are mere warm-ups featuring some Pokemon that didn't get much love in Crystal Kaizo Plus. Soon though, Emmy was going to start throwing some new gimmicks at these trainers, diving into Gen 2 mechanics and strategy that go beyond even what Crystal Kaizo offers. To reach those battles though, the racers are really going to have to show their brain power. It's cold in Johto at this time of year, and the routes are now covered in ice. You know what that means.
Oh, ice puzzle. Ice puzzle.
Oh no! Not a puzzle. Not a puzzle.
The first one's simple enough, as is the trainer battle you have to activate against Hiker Eric to get through. It's just a taste of what's to come though, as both these ice puzzles and trainer battles are going to both get much larger and much more complicated to solve. The first one to conquer the ice puzzles connecting New Bark Town and Blackthorn City was none other than DRXX, the fast and risky player. As usual, Claire is not here, but an NPC tells DRXX he needs to go through Dark Cave to reach the Dragon's Den, where she's hanging out. He collected the Flash HM and the Old Rod, letting him grab an encounter by fishing here before heading over to Dark Cave. DRXX was squarely in the lead, but Jackie Internet, the thinking man's Nuzlocker, known for his unbreakable mental and never tilt mentality, was hot on his tail, followed closely by our other racers. Proudy, the deathless Nuzlocking legend, P-Town, who has an intense phobia of puzzles, Agron, famous for having the greatest pop-offs in the whole Nuzlocking scene, Kaya Coliseum, the new and upcoming Nuzlocke prodigy, Nakolai, the quiet killer, known for his calm patience and persistence, legendary Gian, the first person to ever beat an Emerald Kaizo Nuzlocke, and finally Purple Shirt, who immediately had to pause his race for like 15 minutes to accept a delivery. Dark Cave and the subsequent path to Dragon's Den feature easily the scariest trainer of this game's first split, Birdkeeper Perry. That's a bit misleading. Perry isn't that scary. It's really just his Gligar. It's really just this one move on the Gligar, Guillotine. Ah! If you don't have something on your team that can successfully bait Poison Sting, your Pokemon are going to be on the chopping block. DRXX got through, but there's no way everybody could get that lucky. Jackie was the first to suffer, watching his nearly full health Croconaw drop to the first guillotine of the day. It would not be the last.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, Nakolai is also on Nakolai's Wartortle just got guillotined.
Oh no.
Oh shit, freaking 4, okay.
Come on. All we need is 1. Everybody gets 1. Fuck off, you fucker!
Dragon's Den itself has a couple of trainers, but that was not the real obstacle. The real obstacle was this monstrosity.
What the? What?
The first ice puzzle, to integrate some unique mechanics. The ice works like normal until you run into one of these whirlpools, which will stop you in your tracks and then turn you 90 degrees to the left.
That's cool.
Let me show you what I mean about this ice puzzle with the sponsor of today's video, the REDMAGIC 10 Pro. Alright, let me get started here. It's probably this way. The REDMAGIC 10 Pro is a new phone in REDMAGIC's gaming phone series, and it's super powerful. There's no camera bump whatsoever, so it's very, very natural to hold. Okay, go around here. The corners are rounded just enough that it's comfortable to hold, but they're not rounded too much so that it would ever, like, slip, right? Then it's down here. It's got significant performance upgrades over the previous versions while staying at the same price. Wait, okay, so where do I go from here? It's like this, and then this, this. The phone uses a Snapdragon 8 Elite, by the way, which is the most powerful processor for gaming phones right now. It's got a liquid metal cooling system that's usually just found in gaming laptops. It's even got a powerful 23,000 RPM cooling fan that you can actually hear spinning while you're gaming. I can hear it right now. Okay, hold on. It's here, then this way. I get spun this way, and then okay. hold on, I got this. Also, this phone screen is amazing, by the way. It's got 1.5K resolution, 144 Hz, and these super thin bezels all around to make your view perfect. And I know what you're thinking now. Oh, that sounds like it's gonna run out of battery way too quick. Absolutely not. The REDMAGIC 10 Pro has a massive 7050 milliamp hour battery, powering the whole system. Okay, wait, I think I actually have it now. Hold on. Here, here, then here, 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 then here, then here? No? If you'd like to check out the REDMAGIC 10 Pro, click the link in the description or down in the pinned comment. Thank you so much, REDMAGIC, for sponsoring this video.
Oh god, what is this blender? Amy went crazy with this game.
Bro, what? That's sick.
Okay, I don't know how we got here, but we're here now.
DRXX's big lead started to slip away as he spent his time slipping on the ice in this puzzle. He was still the first to make it to the Dragon's Master's Shrine and talk to the Master, unlocking Blackthorn Gym though. But by the time he had made it through and collected his headbutt encounter and execute...
There's no way, man. Ah! No! Oh my, dude, no!
4 other players had made it to the same puzzle. Jackie, Proudy, P-Town, and Gian, with Purple Shirt, Agron, Kaya, and Nakolai not far behind. This ice puzzle was undoubtedly tougher than the ones that littered the routes between New Bark Town and Blackthorn City, forcing everybody to slow down and try to activate their brains. But whether through brute force or careful planning, most of the players managed to find their way through. P-Town, though, was right behind Jackie and Proudy for a while, part of the group fighting for second behind DRXX. And then he reached the Whirlpool puzzle, where he spent about half an hour sliding around and experiencing every stage of grief, while his competitors started rolling through Blackthorn Gym.
Well, I'm just stuck then. Alright, this is not it. I think I just did the same path twice. Do I need to go from here? No? This is just like the kind of thing I don't have a ton of patience for. If there's more of these, this is gonna cost me. Where is it that you're supposed to go? I do not understand where I'm supposed to be going.
Blackthorn Gym starts with an absolutely evil Pokemon. Dratini is usually nothing to fear, but your Pokemon are stuck at level 18 and have to deal with its devastating Dragon Rage. At this point, the runners don't have Pokemon with much more than 40 HP, which means that if they can't handle this Dratini quickly, it'll shred their teams for the Pursuit Aerodactyl waiting to trap them. None of the front runners were caught off guard by this team, of course, or anything else in Claire's gym, and soon, DRXX was the first to enter the Claire battle, with Gian and Jackie not far behind. Bayleaf is a great Pokemon in Crystal Kaizo because of its ability to stall out opponents with the combination of poison damage and synthesis healing. DRXX had to risk a few crits to make it through, with his Wartortle living on just 3 HP against Claire's Seadra as it spammed seismic tosses. It was a deathless win, but it also gave GN time to close the gap.
Oh, is this just a click headbutt 6 times?
While the RXX was patiently stalling out Claire's threats, Gian was absolutely mashing that headbutt button with his Furret. A Thunder Wave from Dragonair stopped the sweep and forced a slight pause from Gian, but he was soon through Claire, just a couple minutes behind DRXX. Jackie was able to cheese his way through Claire's Baton Pass gimmick with Venonat, which somehow kept baiting Growth and Acid Armor from Vaporeon, while Nightshade slowly but surely chipped it away before it could pass those boosts to a threat in the back. Jackie was then able to employ his own stab headbutt shenanigans with Dunsparce. The Dunsparce would eventually be sacrificed to avoid risking crit on his valuable Voltorb, but Jackie was through Claire and the third player to earn a badge. The players who were getting gate-kept by the Whirlpool Ice Puzzle slowly but surely started trickling through. Proudy is a player who focuses mostly on zero-death challenges, so he's known way more for patience than speed. It was hard to know what to expect from him in a race like this as a result. He brought a fully healthy box to Claire and was able to get through without a single death, but was nearly half an hour behind DRXX and Gian by the time he claimed the badge. He'd have to hope his patience would pay off down the line, and he'd be rewarded for keeping his box intact. The same went for Purple Shirt, Nakolai, and Agron, who slowly but surely made their way through. Kaya made it to Claire right in the middle of the pack, almost exactly tied with Purple Shirt, but there was a big problem. She only had 2 Pokemon left. Her Vulpix and Bayleaf got wrecked by the Dragon Rage trainer, and the next trainer's Dunsparce hacks its way through her Krabby and Cubone. At this point, all she'd had to work with was some hacks of her own.
I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna fraud this. It's really simple. We put Pink Bow on Sweetrit, and we flinch every single one of them ons. Every turn with Headbutt.
This went better than it had any right to. Kaya got Claire all the way down to her last Pokemon with those headbutts and played phenomenally, but the Seadra eventually got her, and down went the first competitor. As for P-Town,
I hate ice puzzles, man. When do I get to phone a friend to do this for me? As a kid, I always had someone else do them for me, and so I never learned how to solve them.
DRXX is rocketing through the game at this point. After Claire, runners unlock a few places to pick up encounters and get a much-needed box refill. Because this game is much shorter than a typical Pokemon game, there was only 3 badges for this race. There are only 21 total encounters, so missing even one is giving up a significant resource. I don't know if DRXX even realized it, but by moving on so quickly to the next objective, he had given up 3 encounters, and his box was extremely weakened. If he lost one more Pokemon, things would look really shaky for him. That next objective is to head to the Lake of Rage, and to get there, the runners would have to get through Ice Path. You're never going to guess what's waiting for them there. The first 3 levels of Emmy's version of Ice Path feature massive puzzles compared to the Child's Play in the vanilla game. They'd be annoying enough if you just had to find the exit, but Emmy also littered extremely valuable items like the Moonstone and Nevermelt Ice hanging around here, items that are absolutely worth giving up some extra time to pick up. The sheer size of these puzzles makes it difficult to keep track of where everything is oriented, even if you can tell exactly where you need to go. This is the puzzle that would effectively end Aggron's chances in this race. He was able to pull off the 3 Montclair, but it didn't matter with how long he got stuck in here. But it's the final puzzle of Ice Path that's the crown jewel. As the trainers entered this room, they probably felt relieved. They could see the exit right above them. The room was downright tiny compared to most of what they had just gone through. Just the one exit, and one trainer near the top of the room. They had no idea what they were in for. After spending some time exploring the room and seeing their options, the puzzle actually seemed impossible. There's basically only one thing you can accomplish with the room in its current form. If you slide in front of the trainer, she'll challenge you, and you can fight her. Skier Alley has just one Pokemon, a level 32 Delibird, that knows one move. Present. It's not a difficult fight, but if you read the text after the battle, a talent Nuzlockers aren't exactly known for, you'll realize something is up here. I love skiing around. Let me go back to where I was and let's battle again. Figure it out yet? Allie's final position in the room depends on where you cross into her field of vision. Character models act just like rocks on the ice. Run into one and you'll stop. That means if you can lure Allie into the right spot, you can use her to make a new path, one that might just be able to bring you to the exit. By hardcore Nuzlocke rules, if a Pokemon goes over the level cap, it must be boxed until you beat the next boss fight. Experience management is a real thing, and with the level cap at 32 here, the level 32 Delibird Allie is carrying actually gives an annoyingly high amount of experience. If you get this puzzle wrong too many times, you just might level over the cap and be screwed for the rest of the fights of this split.
Wow, that's a ton of EXP. Holy moly.
Or as Aggron so eloquently put it,
That NPC needs to fucking. We need to find the hole. We need to find it. It's got it. It just. There is a fucking place where that NPC. Cause I'm gonna lose all my Pokemon to fucking EXP, and then it will actually become wiping to ice puzzle. You know the meme where like we wipe to ice puzzle? That's actually gonna happen to me if I don't figure this out. I am actually going to wipe to the ice puzzle due to over leveling for killing that goddamn fucking Delibird over and over and over again. We need to find the goddamn hole.
the first one through would be DRXX, who got Allie into the right place on just his second try. Gian would be next, followed closely by Jackie.
More ice puzzles. Progress? Not progress. And I have to go to the trainer. Like, what else after that? This leads me nowhere. Wait, somewhere? Nowhere. I think I see. Maybe it's not solvable because I need to turn in a different position. Not there. This might be good. I suppose one. Oh yeah, it needs to be one up. Okay, I see. Is this it? Looks promising. Yeah, there we go.
This room is hardest. All right, we'll see if that's the case, or if I'm just a god gamer. Oh, that's her. Okay, so gotcha. That makes sense. My guess is you have to battle her at least once to make this work as intended. This is just a circle if you do that. This seems like something, but I'm not entirely sure what. Because this doesn't quite do it. This, if I go to the right, I fight her. But then I wonder if it, because it stops me, I have to like, no, because I was doing that before. Ah, fuck, I fucked that up.
Purple Shirt was able to make up a ton of time on all of the Ice Path puzzles, but he was still way behind, essentially praying for a wipe from a couple of the top runners. Agron, as you may have already figured out, had a pretty tough time on this split. By the time he made it through, it was clear there was no way he could win the race. The other trainers had been out of here for a long time, but let it be known he had the last laugh over that Delibird.
See any more goddamn Delibirds in my goddamn life. All right, who's the next trainer? Motherfucking Delibird.
Realistically, 7 of the 9 trainers still had a chance at this point. DRXX, Gian, and Jackie made up the lead group, with Proudy, Purple Shirt, and Nakolai waiting to pounce if they made big enough mistakes. And then there was P-Town.
Alright, this looks like progress. No, this isn't progress. I'm stupid. This is where I started.
Figuring out Allie's puzzle doesn't get you out of Ice Path just yet, though. There's still one more trainer, and though her team might not look that threatening, Pillowswine is a monster in Crystal Kaizo. It's given Mamoswine stats in this game, making it one of the most threatening attackers the runners had seen yet. DRXX didn't have much reason to fear it, though. Wartortle looked like a solid answer. And then...
Is there any other encounters that I missed? Oh, I think in Blackthorn City, I can get one. Oh my god, he crit me.
DRXX saw the writing on the wall. He knew even if he made it through that fight, he was in big trouble for the rest of this run. He was missing encounters, he had tons of deaths. He decided to throw in the towel right there. Now the hierarchy was clear. Gian had a slight lead over Jackie, with a big lead over everybody else. With this puzzle segment over, it was time for more battles, and the difficulty definitely ramps up in this split. It's not just that the Pokemon are more powerful, there are more gauntlets coming up too. Fights featuring multiple trainers where you can't heal or change your lead in between. The ledge that trainers jump over to finally escape Ice Path puts them one tile away from a gauntlet featuring 6 trainers and 15 total Pokemon. Cool Trainer Alan's Tauros is a monster. Tauros' body slams have been wreaking havoc since 1999, but the real problem here is that the fighting types that could hit it super effectively are few and far between. Gian had a rock type in Graveler that could resist both of its attacks, but Graveler had nothing to take the Tauros down before it could use Rest to heal off the damage.
I mean, not good because it's slow, but good because I can sit on this for a while. Okay, hits through. Hits through again. Hits through again. Stopping this guy. It's through again. Not that to crit. Go Magmar? No, go Vaporeon first. Bro, it's -6 accuracy. Oh my god. It's cracked me too. Holy shit. -6 accuracy.
In gauntlets like this, deaths can snowball quickly. Not only is Gian without his Vaporeon, he has one less body to switch into potential threats, one less health bar that can absorb a hit in a clutch moment. In the next fight, Fisherman Wilton started mashing Rollout with his Kabutops. He tried his best to break the Rollout with Mudslap accuracy drops, nearly losing his Graveler in the process. He instead decided to throw Nidoqueen to the wolves, praying for the accuracy drops to come into play.
I think he has to be in the arena. Yeah, I'm just so unlucky. What can I do?
Another Pokemon down, just 4 remain. He was able to get through the Wooper that followed, but his Venusaur was now overleveled and unusable. Gian was essentially down to 3 Pokemon for the final fight of the gauntlet, Psychic Phil. Thankfully, he still had his Hypno, and despite his team taking a beating, Gian was the first to make it to Mahogany Town. Purple Shirt's incredible time in Ice Path made up for much of the time he lost early in the run, but he couldn't even get through the first trainer of the gauntlet before the issues started piling up. He was forced to sacrifice his fur to cool trainer Sybil's Nidoqueen, and when his Golbat missed a range and also fainted, it was pretty much over.
God damn it.
Paralyzed Electabuzz was able to take down the Nidoqueen, but by the time he got through this Lapras, half his team was dead. With that, Purple Shirt was out of the competition. This was Jackie's chance to get back, but the gauntlet wasn't looking like it would be any kinder to him. He had no problem with Sybil, but Alan's Tauros once again stood tall. A Rock Slide crit eliminated Jackie's Venomoth, and he was convinced the wipe was coming.
LOL. Okay, well, now I am just screwed. So I'm probably wiping right here. I could Spark Boom this, but then I've got like nothing in the back for yeah, this is tough. This is probably an L. Gotta dodge crit here. I gotta get the para here actually is really what I need, a para into full para. This is random move. I just gotta, yeah, I gotta YOLO this. That is what it is at this point. If this body slams me and it doesn't crit me, I'm chilling. Unfortunate. I have to dodge the lowest, or 4 rolls. I've dodged 4 rolls. Yeah, man, that's bad. Dead to crit here, otherwise I kill this and win, and I move forward. Okay. Alright, not great losses, but at this point, it's survive and advance, so.
Now, Jackie just had to get through the rest of the gauntlet with 4 Pokemon. Thanks to Electrode, Jackie had a simpler answer to the Octillery and Kabutops that nearly sent Gian packing. Sneasel, which has the same stats as Weavile in this game, finally came up clutch in the final battle against the Psychics, and Jackie was officially safe, even if Gian's lead was still pretty solid. And then there was Proudy. The one death equals reset god was doing just what you'd expect, navigating the fights with almost perfect safety. He was a good deal behind, still just because he lost that much time on the ice puzzles. He had to save a pretty tough situation against that Tauros that was ruining everybody's day, but impressively, he made it through that whole gauntlet deathless. It's just what he does, I guess. Given how close Jackie and Gian had both come to wiping on those fights, there was a world where his patient but clean gameplay was going to pay off. Nakolai actually had the cleanest run through this gauntlet of anybody, making it through deathless as well. If he had a better start, he very well might have been in the lead. But despite it all, he was keeping himself in the race with a really clean run through the split. Oh yeah, what about P-Town?
Yeah, these puzzles are mean. These ice puzzles are just like the worst thing ever, man. Alright, I'm going to get my lunch.
There were now 4 people left in this race. Gian and Jackie, who barely held on through the gauntlet, and Proudy and Nakolai with the healthiest boxes, ready to catch up to the front runners and their heavily weakened parties. Only a few more fights separated these runners from the Lake of Rage, where the second batch battle was awaiting them. The deaths kept stacking up for Gian though. Fisherman Marvin Seeking found 2 devastating critical hit Hydro Pumps in a row, first taking out his Venomoth and then his Furret.
Oh my god.
Just 9 Pokemon remained in his box, but he made it. The Lake of Rage has frozen over. There's still a shiny in the middle, but probably not the one you're expecting. After grinding out another Whirlpool puzzle, Gian was there at the center of the Lake of Rage. It might not exactly be a gym battle, but he was able to fight for his second badge. This Dugong is level 40 against your team capped at level 32, and as Gian found out, even though it's mostly coded like a wild Pokemon, you cannot throw a ball at it. He lost his Fearow trying that out, and he lost his Hypno chipping it down with Seismic Toss. Ladian came in to try and win the fight with Mach Punch, but not even super effective damage could make that 35 base attack go anywhere. Thankfully for Gian, Dugong went for Whirlpool against Omastar, which was able to find the kill with Rock Slide and get Dugong to spit out the badge it had swallowed.
Another viscous fight.
Gian was still in first place, but also had a box so thin that he couldn't afford any mistakes. Jackie was powering through with his uninterruptible mental and was more than ready for this demon Dugong.
It's a shiny Dugong too.
he had the near perfect answer, Magneton, which resists both Ice Beam and Mega Horn and can get off a Thunder Wave to at least let him outspeed for the rest of the fight. But it went even better than that. Thanks to a couple of lucky paralysis procs, Magneton was able to solo the fight by simply mashing Thunder Shock. Gian had nearly a 20-minute head start on him, but Jackie's box was in much better shape. It took nearly another hour for the remaining 2 runners to get there, and it was looking like they definitely needed both Gian and Jackie to wipe at this point, but Proudy and Nakalai were both chugging along, and with their nearly full boxes, they had little trouble. Proudy and Nakalai used almost identical strategies, using an expendable mon from their box to set up Kingler to kill with submission. They were keeping the pressure on the front runners. The next objective is over at Mount Mortar, but first the runners will have to escape the Lake of Rage, and there are a few trainers there ready to stop them. Gian made it through Cool Trainer Lowe's Victory Bell, Arcanine, and Persian without a problem, but there was another monster waiting, a fitting one here at the Lake of Rage. Gian sacrificed his Golem to her Gyarados, hoping anything he had in the back could take it on, but this thing's coverage is insane.
I mean, what can I do? I got nothing left. Hacks. Come on, shit, man, you got it. He ain't got it. I know, he ain't got it. Okay, that's the best I got. The trainer is BB.
This Gyarados is absolutely a box check, and Gian had nothing capable of passing it. And so, there were 3. Jackie's Electrode made the Gyarados that ended Gian's run trivial. He kept pushing with a huge lead over Proudy and Nakalai, the only racers left with a live run beyond Dugong. With 12 Pokemon left and pretty solid type diversity, Jackie didn't have to ride that razor's edge like Gian did. Slow and steady could absolutely win him this race. But however healthy his box was, Proudy and Nakalai's was even healthier, and these 2 players are methodical, surgical Nuzlockers. After pretty easily dispatching a trainer that can get out of control with a Perish Song Politoed, Jackie showed exactly why reading is truly fundamental. He approached these 2 trainers and immediately knew something was off.
This is not a gauntlet, right? No. But this is a back-to-back? That can't be right. This doesn't say it's a back-to-back. I wonder if I can walk around and talk to him.
It's a pretty simple test. It looks like the play is just to walk through these 2 trainers, which would indeed trigger a back-to-back. That has the potential to be a pretty big problem because the first one, Pokemaniac Brent, is packing some heat, capable of slowly but surely spreading damage across your whole team before you take on the second fight. That didn't matter to Jackie, who sniffed out the fake back-to-back and got through it without much issue. Meanwhile, Proudy was making a spirited comeback, using his healthy box to roll through the trainers to start the 3rd badge split. He was close enough to push Jackie to start moving a bit faster, and was creating some distance between himself and 3rd place, Nakalai. And then he walked into the back-to-back. He also walked into it in the wrong order. Pokemaniac Ben challenged him first. Proudy's team was built for Brent. He had an Electrode that would have been an easy answer for Murkrow and Yanma on Ben's team, but it was sitting in the box because he thought he was going to be dealing with a lead Porygon 2 and a Pillow-Swine in the back instead.
I don't know if this might be a back-to-back, so like I'm gonna make this play. Because if this is a back-to-back, then I gotta play into it. Oh, I'm slower. Oh my god. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, that's so bad. 3 straight. Dude, 3 straight full paras. Like, come on, man. Really need this to die. I think this is gonna die. Oh, this might not die. Nice, Fortress. Fucking hell. Great 3-hit. It might as well Rock Slide, bait, Jinx, random move, and then go for it at this point. Yeah. Like, if it boosts, it boosts. Like, gotta die. Oh my god, let's go. Okay, now I gotta switch into random move Jinx, which is non-Ice Beam, please. Okay, wow, that's the worst case scenario. Or, well, second worst. 36? Oh, I died at like half the rolls. Oh, no, Houndoom. Houndoom, you live this. You live this. You live this. You live this. I believe. I believe with all my heart you live this. I believe. I believe. I believe. Fuck. I do not believe. I do not believe. All right, if I lose speed tie here, we're probably wiping. Oh my god. No, that's probably like a GG. That's probably a wipe. That's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. All right, how the fuck am I beating this fight now? If I burn with flamethrower and it goes for try attack, I might be able to live. Unlucky. Burn? Oh, it goes for Thunderbolt anyway. Yeah. Alright, so if I had switched, then I would have lost anyway. Okay, so. Very reasonable play there. Then would have lost on the spot if I had switched. So, at least there's that. I need one of these two submissions to crit. Not that one. Oh, it goes for spikes! Oh, wait, that's so bad, though, because then I just die on the switch-in. No! I literally died of spikes on the switch. And I died of Hydro Pump! No! I get crit by Hydro Pump, too. No! Damn it. Alright, running into this double by accident is going to cost me. Cost me the run. That sucks.
It's unfortunate. Party just got caught going a little too fast in the overworld to catch up. Given the state of his box and how slow Jackie was taking things in this split, he had a real chance at it. But even Nakolai, who was much farther behind Prouty, was starting to close the gap, getting within 4 trainers of Jackie's lead. The final gym leader of this version of the patch is Kaio, whose team is exactly what you expect from a so-called Karate King. It's a bunch of physical threats, with even the token special attacker Typhlosion carrying Cross Chop. But despite the hard focus on physical damage and fighting type moves, this team is really diverse, with a bunch of type combinations that have to be accounted for in team building. This was it. The clock was running out. If Jackie could win this fight with a by now weakened box, the race would be over. Nakolai, who had by far the cleanest performance out of any runner, still only sporting 2 deaths at this point, could take over and beat Kaio in time. It all came down to this. Jackie got nervous towards the end and didn't spend a lot of time preparing this fight. He even led with the wrong Pokemon. It seemed like to make it out here, he would need some amount of luck.
The thinking man's Nuzlocker, baby. The thinking man's Nuzlocker.
From that position, everyone's fate was sealed. Jackie had this fight in the bag, and with that, the first place of the race, with second place going to Nakolai. Unfortunately, we didn't quite manage to get through the whole thing in one stream, but that means the final puzzle, one of the coolest in the entire game, will remain unspoiled for you. Shout out to Emmy for making this beautiful little ROM hack. Happy holidays, and I'll see you all next year. Oh my god, my nose is so itchy! Fuck!